got it going a little bit more in the second half. Maybe just speak to what you saw from that in the game where you knew it was going to be weighing on him a little bit, playing back here.
Yeah, I think he didn't let any of that bother him. He put the team first and went out and competed, played team first basketball, had 8 assists, had several other plays where he made the extra pass and allowed his teammates to play through his double teams and played a team first type of game and ended up with 33 and 8, hell of a performance.
Curious that you mentioned the pass and that was had him up high, drew doubles, found Nurkic. How much of that was from just the last time you played him, or how much of it was just the initial game plan?
Well, they did that some last time. They did a lot of double teaming even before the action began, just as soon as Vogel or KD crossed half court, just to create some chaos. But in particular tonight with Simmons out and Sharp out, they only really had one center to throw out there, so we knew they were going to see a lot of small ball lineups. And you have the choice of trying to downsize, and match them, or try to impose your style of play on them. And I want to credit our centers, Nurk and Drew both. Nurk had the big stat line, obviously, because he really scored the basketball well and had a lot of boards. But Drew did a good job as well, playing through their small lineups and junk defenses.
How much does that maybe give you confidence to stick with Nurkic against small ball? Because there's been situations where you pulled him or he's got in foul trouble and had to come out.
Yeah, it's always a read, but those guys know that if we're gonna stick with those guys, against a small ball lineup, they got to punish the double teams. They got to punish them on the boards. They got to seal and catch and finish inside, and they got to be able to move their feet and play through switching on the other end. And both those guys did all of that on both sides of the ball.
Other questions for Coach?
The other one I had was on the threes, getting the number of threes up. How do you like the looks overall?
Yeah, great looks. I like Eric Gordon's double clutch three in the fourth quarter. That was an interesting one, but we got it to fall. What was we ended up with 28 on 50%. Good numbers.
Coach, the last 2 games you guys have outscored opponents 80-51 in the third quarter. How have you guys been able to get off to such strong starts to start the second half?
Yeah, we just that's our starting group. We've been really good in the first and third all season, and those guys just have a knack for getting it going. And we really build up a lot of third quarter leads, and force teams to play pressure and chaotic in the fourth. And we did a good job hanging on in fourth and scoring the ball. They're going to try to junk the game up as much as they can when they're down big, but we continue to attack the rim. And not just handle their pressure, but attack the pressure. And, the mindset that we want to score 30 in the fourth, at least 30 in the fourth, whether we're up or down, played out tonight.
How did it feel to be back here and play against your former team in this environment?
Yeah, it was good to see everybody, man. It was a fun night. They beat us bad at not bad, but they beat us at our place last time, so we were focused on that. We got 3 guys with over 20 points, 6 in double figures. That's the type of ball we want to play. So I'm excited about the W.
Curious, I know you talked about the tribute video that feel like you deserved one, but they gave you one anyway.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about seeing that?
It is what it is, Like I said, I can't control what other people feel and think and do. That wasn't going to stop me from just doing my job, regardless of how I was honored. But it's classy people here. They appreciate everybody who donned the jersey. I don't care if it's for a 10-day. And that shows a great organization when you can appreciate everybody who stepped foot and put their blood, sweat, and tears into your organization. So I respect that.
Curious, you had the ball up high and they were trying to double, and you and Nurkic rekindled that connection. How good did it feel to get other guys involved and taking advantage of the way they were defending?
Yeah, we've been seeing it all season, and a lot of teams are nervous for me to get a post up or ISO sometimes, so we got to take advantage of putting 2 on the basketball and making a simple play. I still think we turned it over too much. I feel like we could have I had 2 bad ones in the fourth. But I feel like we get under 10 turnovers, then it's been an even bigger game for us.
The only other follow I had was there were points in the game where you would score and sort of, be engaged, involved with the crowd. How much were you sort of feeding into that in certain moments?
I mean, this crowd know. You talk to me, I'll talk back. I mean, I'm pretty much every crowd in the NBA know that. You know, I pick and choose when I speak back, but you can get a little conversation out of me. I think that helps the player-fan relationship anyway. So it's always fun. I mean, they get a kick out of it. It's something they're going to always remember, and it gets me hyped, too, in the game as well. That if I hit a shot, I could talk a little shit on the way back, you know. So I feel like this crowd understands me more, especially in Brooklyn, understands me more than probably any crowd in the league.
I know beforehand you were saying, hey, it's business trip, but once you actually got out there and you're going back and forth, you're seeing the familiar faces, was there any added emotion?
No, I do this everywhere. Talk to the crowd, stay engaged in the game. I mean, I play like this everywhere. So it's just regular business, but, you know, you see familiar faces on the front row, some of the season ticket holders that I got to know when I was here, some of the fans that I got to know in the stands, you know, the ushers as well. I mean, so it brought back a lot of memories, and, you know, when you kind of reminisce a bit, you get distracted. So I try my hardest not to reminisce so much, but I love a lot of people here.
When you do reminisce about being here for the time you were here, what do you think about?
Just the work we put in every day through the adversity, through the noise, the relationships being built with my teammates and coaching staff. We had a lot of different coaches and players come through here, and they all understood what we were trying to fight for, and so that made us tighter and closer as a group. And just New York City in general, I just absolutely love living here. I hated it before coming in as a visitor, but once you move here, you build your love up for the city and you understand the city even more. So I had a great time here. I mean, it's short, but 3 or 4 years is a long time in real time. But, you know, as far as an NBA career, that's short, but I had a lot of good moments in those 4 years.
Kevin, you had such success in your other stops, Oklahoma and the Warriors, and this one was so choppy for all kinds of reasons that were mostly out of your control. So do you look at your tenure here differently than maybe the other stops, or how do you assess the relative success or lack thereof? Like, what does it mean to you?
I mean, I like to look at success as like the individuals, what you did as an individual and how you can bring that as a team. As an individual, I mean, I was All-Star every year. I was leading vote getter every year in All-Star games, sold a lot of jerseys, 50, 40, 90. Like average 30, like all NBA. I mean, was that successful?
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But team success is a different thing. But you like to put how the team does. We like to put that on one of the best players and call it a failure. But when you look at the work, if you want to talk about me individually, you can just look at the work that I put in here. I think I've grown as a player. I think I'm on my way to mastering the game. I think it was, coming here helped me, push me far closer to that, So that's what I try to take from my time here.
This was your 17th game with Brad and stabbing together on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You only ever got 16 with Kyrie and James.
That's context for why we was a failure, right?
Well, but that's why I said.
I'm just saying.
No, but do you think about that? Like,
Nah.
what could have been at all?
No. I mean, that's just a pointless exercise, in my opinion, to think about what could have been. I mean, what happened? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I thought about, what actually happened, the reality of it. We didn't have enough time together. That's just it. Guys wanted to go their separate ways. We tried our hardest to, salvage everything and bring everything together. We had 3 or 4 different teams it's the first, when I signed here until when I left. But at the end of the day, I enjoy coming into work, playing for, being a part of this community and playing and representing Brooklyn. Regardless of what went on, what said, or how I felt, I still came to work.
And to that point, how do you, now that you are halfway through with this group this year and you've gotten some extended time with those guys, sort of how do you feel about where things sit right now with what you guys are trying to do and sort of where you are in the process of coming together?
Yeah, I mean, we were just floating from like 2 to 3 or to 500, 2 to 3 games under 500 and 500 for the most of the year. I mean, we look up, we're 28-20 with a good opportunity to be 10 games over 500 our next 2 games on the road. So we're going home at 50 game mark. Hopefully we can be 30-20. I like where we are. And it's a grind throughout the whole season, especially with a new group, new coaching staff, new team. Guys in and out the lineup, you got to build some continuity, and I think we're on our way to that.
When players talk about like silence the road crowd when you're on the road. If they were into the game early, the fans here to booing you a little bit, and then, you know, the way you guys were playing, there wasn't much to go to keep them up. Like, is that like, you know, do you feel even better because you know who these people are, or is it kind of like, man, they really wanted to be in this game? I hate that I sort of did that to them out there.
I did not hate. I love to shut the crowd up, even though I love these people here. I love to shut them up because it was some annoying people just trying to get my attention. I hate you, KD, but now I look over. I love you, man. And they got my jersey on, you know. So it's good to. It's like I said. It's all good for the game. That relationship you got with the crowd, and we got a lot of showmen in this league, and they do it in different ways. And I guess my way is just have a little quick conversation with people in the stands, and it's always fun playing in New York. They appreciate great ball.
When you were given the too small was there a certain fan you were giving that to, or that was?
I mean, it's just nah. I mean, I locked eyes with somebody. I don't know who it was, but you know, I love when the fans get excited. And here in Brooklyn, just from playing here, regardless of who does it, a good play, home or away, they're going to cheer and appreciate that. So I had a great time.
Katie, I know that your mom attends a lot of games, but what did it mean to have her sitting courtside for this one?
Yeah, she always, since that OKC game, she's like, if I go back to a team you play for, I got to be there. Like, yeah, it's good to have that family knowing that we coming in locked in like that. All of us, I had 10 or 12 people here that's just been supporting me my whole career, and regardless, I got that, you know, regardless of what happened, I know they got my back. So my mom's been there, obviously, from day one. But when she got a lot going on in her life, too. So for her to, you know, come up here and support as much as she can, it's always fun.
Coach Vaughn, Coach Kevin, Ollie, you and him have some history. Whether it was him, whether it was anyone else in the Nets organization, was there anyone that you were able to step aside for a minute and say hello to, maybe somebody you haven't seen in a while?
Yeah, everybody. People you probably don't know, like support staff as well. I mean, we built a great bond here, and they appreciated how I came to work and vice versa, and they respected my grind. You know, it was, you know, I got every day, like I said, regardless of how I felt, even through the rehab process, regardless of how I felt, how moody I was, I still came to work and did as hard as I can and listened and was coachable. And that's all you could do as a pro. And that just gives you respect around the league.
One of the things that Coach was saying, Coach Vaughn, before the game, he said that in the world of negativity, that it was a positive having him, you know, having being your coach. He said he got a better coach, and he got a better coach because of you. How does that feel knowing that a guy that would just kind of get his chance?
Yeah.
Grew from coaching.
Yeah, he impacted me tremendously in our few months as him as head coach. How he moved as a coach, how he communicated with us, is something that I'm gonna take with me for the rest of my career. Just the level of confidence he had in everybody, top to bottom, every day. Like he wasn't inconsistent with his voice or his energy. It was every day. And being around the league for so long, Jock has, you know, he knows how to get to people. So I was blown away, honestly, by how he approached that and how he took over the team and how we turned things around when we were here last year. And it's just, my respect just went through the roof for him. So I'm always rooting for Coach Vaughn, and I'm always going to remember our time as a player-coach.
Kevin, in your own words, how do you want your legacy in Brooklyn?
I want you to figure out what it is on your own. It's your own experience when you come watch us play. I'm not here to sway anybody's experience or, you know, manipulate how they think or feel about the game. Like, whatever you take from it, you take from it. It's on me to just go out there and do me.
Kevin has spoken about you guys, you know, grew close during your time here. He's obviously finally gotten an extended opportunity here. Just what has it been like to see him, you know, grow in the league and then now get an opportunity to have a rotation role consistently? Yeah,
just super excited for him. You know, he's a student of the game, and I think that's what people don't understand about Cam. It's like he on his phone and on the plane watching film, like watching other players, trying to figure out best ways for him to be aggressive and approach the game. Like, he's watching basketball, playing a video game all day, playing basketball. He's obsessed with the game, and I think that's what attracted us to one another, and, you know, just that we kept that locker room talk just everywhere. Like, we were ball players, regardless of who else was around us. We were talking about ball. Like, me, him, Kai. Like, it was an incredible environment for just guys who want to learn and be great at the game of basketball. And Cam was just easily fit in as soon as he got here. And he's only going to get better. He's 22, 23 years old, and around the league is already on the scouting report that he's one of the hardest people to guard in the league. So he keep it up. Sky's the limit for him.
Kevin, kind of to that point, you're obviously close with a lot of people still in this organization and on this team. You've played them twice now. Just what do you kind of make of them as they're sort of in this transition? What have you seen from them?
Yeah, just a versatile group that's going to figure it out. I mean, I think they got all the tools and the pieces to be a playoff contending team that can make some noise and damage. I still think, I know their record don't look as great as it should, and we said this before the game, they are way better than what their record shows. So there's some games that slipped from them, in the last few weeks, but they got the talent in this room to turn things around pretty quick, and I'm always following and watching and seeing what they're doing, and I know Coach Vaughn's going to have them ready down at the last stretch of the season.
Sorry, one more right here.
Kevin, in the third quarter, you and Cam had a matchup and you scored on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's your thought on that?
Anytime I can score on Cam and talk shit to him, man. We've been doing that since I known him, and I'm sure there's gonna be many more moments like that. He's my brother, and I got to teach him a lesson if he's gonna guard me out there.